As you're aware, what I'm doing this week in my vlog is I'm going through a number of the things that if we are elected as a Labour team, we promise that we will do. And the thing I'm going to talk about today is, in fact, a major national problem, and that's fly tipping. I'm not talking about your classic sort of drive into the countryside and dump loads of things in a wood kind of fly tipping. I'm talking about household fly tipping, where people are dumping a smaller number of household items almost on their own doorstep. I do a walkabout or a drive about in my ward about every fortnight really, and every time I come back with at least 3 or 4 examples of this that needs tidying up, and I'm going to show you some of the photos, some of the things I mean. Much of the stuff I find dumped is there obviously just because it's too large to fit in a car. Here's somebody's dumped a fridge. Here someone has been unable to think of how to get rid of a redundant trampoline frame. For the same reason we get a lot of chairs and settees. Notice how once people see something dumped, they rush out and add their own rubbish to it. This pile of rubbish was left by Living for the full 40 working days over the Christmas period, and by the time it was cleared it was 3 times this size and included a fridge. I feel sorry for Living because their yard seems to be regarded by some people as a local tip. But any empty house is a target. This is especially difficult to get dealt with because fly tipping is the responsibility of the landowner. In this case, it was a private landlord, and they have to remove it at their own cost. This kind of fly tipping is not a victimless crime. And sometimes this local household fly tipping just beggars belief. Why did this person not simply put the bag into their green bin? And what was going through the mind of this person to think that this was acceptable at any level? The only good thing here was that they dumped it on council land, and so I could get it removed within a day or so. Now the council has an award-winning and very successful campaign, the Stop It campaign against fly tipping, but it is finding that this kind of smaller household local fly tipping is proving irritating and very difficult to stop. And yes, we do sift through, and yes, we will prosecute anybody if we find evidence that that belongs to them, but it's not going away. And that is why I've been thinking about what we might do if we get elected to try and address this annoying problem on our social housing estates primarily. I've been talking to police and wardens, and the first thing I've got to say is I think instead of enforcement, maybe we need to start thinking, are people fully aware? Do they know, for instance, that if you can borrow a van, you can take your stuff to the household waste recycling centre, and we've got one in Newton Aycliffe at Hyington Lane. We've got one for Newton Aycliffe, and then you can get rid of it there free of charge. Now what people think is, they think that if you go in a van they turn you away. That's not true. You can get a permit, and as long as it's your domestic waste, you can take your stuff in a van and get rid of it too. So do people know that the council for £15 will take away up to 6 bulky items by arrangement? There's nothing to stop you clubbing together with other people and they can get rid of something from their house and you can make up the 6. 3, are people aware that they're in fact private, licensed, absolutely legal waste collectors who will collect scrap metal items, except fridges, for free? I wonder just how much people are aware of what is the law on this and what is available. And do we think that maybe some kind of campaign, some leafleting campaign, awareness campaigns, education might be part of the answer? And the second thing I want to address is that, is there an issue here of simply money, of being able to afford. Now, we've got to be careful here, because we cannot afford to remove everybody's rubbish for them free of charge. And as soon as you get into some kind of scheme which seeks to help some people and not others, you get into issues of fairness. Well, I'm not being stupid here. Why should somebody have their waste removed free of charge when I'm paying council tax and I have to pay £15 to get it removed? But on the other hand, there is absolutely clearly a money problem here for some people. There was one lady on the estate, and she saw me taking the photograph. She knew what was going to happen. She came rushing out. She said, "Council clerk, don't report me to the Mordens. It's going on Friday. I'm getting some money on Friday, and it's going on Friday." And it wasn't gone on Friday, so I knocked on the door. "Oh, it's sort of no, it's next Friday." And it was all taken. Somebody came round and collected the debt that I'd forgotten about, and I'd hoped wasn't collected. And there was all these reasons. And the third week, I felt soft on that lady, and I just reported it as fly tipping and got it taken away for her free of charge. Because it was clearly not malicious fly tipping. It was simply that was unaffordable. I assure you, I was right on that. That was an issue. And the point that we have to address is that it is cheaper for the council to take something away from that person's house free of charge than it is to have to send men to dig it out of the burn because they wouldn't. And I'm working with DCC officers now to see if it's possible to come up with some viable scheme. Now, is anybody else doing anything about these two issues? The answer is no. I'm not aware of any other candidate that's even mentioned it apart from your Labour candidates. And if they have, they're certainly just moaning about it. They haven't got any ideas. And even I'm not sure whether the things that I'm suggesting will work, which is why we're being absolutely realistic with our promise to you, but we are promising that we will 9 campaign to reduce casual household fly tipping on our estates. And within the bounds of what's possible, and within the bounds of what's affordable, your Labour team of councillors are promising that if elected, they will explore ways to address this problem. Now, is anybody else doing that? I think not.